Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to the first ever episode of a brand new show we've got here on the channel. It's going to be a once-a-month show, and the show is called The Curse of the Collector. Some of you, I'm sure, have heard us say on many occasions here on Sea of Tranquility about how that thing called the curse is very, very real. So we decided to turn it into a show where we invite various people from across the channel or maybe new to the channel to kind of talk about some of the cool new things they have acquired, this curse of buying physical media, physical product, whether it be vinyl, CD, cassette, 8-track, Blu-ray, concert films, whatever it might be. For now, we're going to stick to music-related stuff, but it's all about just collecting and accumulating the physical things. And I've asked everybody to kind of come up with 3 fairly recent things they've acquired and tell a little story about each one of them. So we're going to introduce the crew here today. We've got from Canada, Armando Venditti. You've seen him on In the Prog Seat and various Ranking the Album shows. We've got from the West Coast of the United States. You've also seen him on In the Prog Seat and various Ranking the Album show, Rand Kelly. We've got all the way from the UK, first time ever on Sea Tranquility. We got Davey Gallagher from Davey's Cinema Flicks and Music Picks on YouTube. We've got in the center square today from the state of Texas, longtime viewer, also frequent participant on Sea of Tranquility, I should say, Scott Berry. We've got the professor of the prop himself from Ohio. You've seen him on every single show on this channel, Mr. Jamie Laszlo. And last but not least, longtime viewer. You've also seen him on the wonderful box set show that we did with Martin Popoff a couple of weeks ago. Nick Usofian, what's going on, everybody? Good morning, greetings, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Thanks for joining.
Good morning.
So, for all the collectors.
Good morning, Pete.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
That's right. It's good morning, good afternoon, and very early morning for a couple of folks here on the call.
Very early. Good night.
Yeah, exactly. But wherever you might be watching, that's what time it is by you.
Good day.
We've each picked out 3 things that we've acquired. We're each going to talk about them. We're going to go one at a time with one pick, and we'll go round and round and round till we get through all of them. So we're going to start off, I think, basically in the same order that I just announced, everybody. So we're going to go Armando, myself, Rand, Davey, Scott, Jamie, and Nick, and then we'll work our way around and work our way around again. So Armando, what is your first thing you want to show off today?
Well, the first thing I have is a David Bowie box set. I'm going to try and lift it up to the camera if I can do it.
Oh yeah,
this is called Brilliant Adventure. This is called Brilliant Adventure. And just a bit of background, the Bowie estate in 2015 started releasing his back catalog, remastered versions all of certain eras. The first one was 5 years, from 72 to 77. The second 72, no, sorry, my mistake. 69 to 72, 5 years, which is a pretty good set if you are into that era.
Yeah.
The second one was Who Can I Be Now, which covered 74 to 76. The third one was A New Career in a New Town, which I do not have. It covered 77 to 79. I don't have that set because there were issues with the sound quality on some editions of that set, and you can't tell which ones you're going to get. Sorry, what was that?
The Berlin era.
Yeah, the Berlin era. Sorry. And what came on after that one? And then I forget the one that came after that. And then this one came out about a year ago, 9 months to a year ago, I believe. And it covers, I have the little piece of paper on the back of the box because to pull out all the CDs out of this monster, can't do it. Can't do it right now. So I have the slip. It covers, again, it's called Brilliant Adventure. It's from 1992 to 2001. The albums in the set are Black Tie, White Noise, The Buddha of Suburbia, Outside, Earthling, Hours, There's a live album, BBC Radio Theatre from London, June of 2000, and another album called Toy, which was recorded in 2001. It wasn't released. He opted instead to record more music and release Heathen in 2002. If you want to get Toy, you can get it separate from this set, but it's like, there's various versions of it, up to like $50 for like a box set version of it. And what's good about these box sets is that each of them have a double disc of it's called Recall, and they're all like B-sides and single edits and unreleased tracks. This version has a triple CD version of Recall, so you have like B-sides and stuff, which is really good. Yeah, I got this. I was looking at this for a while at my local record shop, and it was listed at like $210, like an absurd amount for, it's 11 CDs. I thought, okay, maybe I'll buy it. Found it on Amazon for like $80 cheaper. So, and I was able to get it within the next day. So guess who won out? I mean, really? I mean, right?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like he needs any more money, right?
You put him in his face.
But yeah, no, I've got most of the sets. I will not get a new career in a new town just because of the sound quality issue. But yeah, I haven't really, guys, I came down with COVID. I've been really ill. I haven't been able to listen to much of it yet. I have most of the albums in other forms. The music is fantastic. And it's my first selection, and I stick by that.
I've seen it advertised on Facebook quite a bit. It like pops up in my feed like all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, look at that. So good choice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's really good.
I don't have the box set, but I have heard Toy. I've got the standalone box of Toy, and that is the worst album cover I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
the baby, but with the 65-year-old David Bowie's face superimposed on it.
Yeah.
It's like the creature from Eraserhead or something. It's absolutely terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, and they say that, just quickly, I'm going to keep it short. They say that the live album to this set is unique to the set. Guys, wait 5 months, they'll release a live album.
They said that about the Glastonbury set as well, and that's really separately.
And I have the Glastonbury set too. And
that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, my first choice today, purchased from none other than Ken Golden at the Laser's Edge, based on his recommendation. He's been giving me a lot of good recommendations lately. He knows I'm a big fan of jazz and jazz fusion, and he's got some really cool Japanese fusion rarities on CD. You might have some of them on vinyl as well, but this first one that I'm going to show today is by Japanese bassist Teruo Nakamura. The album is called Unicorn, or the CD is called Unicorn. This is from the old Three Blind Mice label. And these are sessions from 1973 recorded in New York City. Just kind of show this a little bit. If you love like rare fusion from the 70s, and you're a fan of like maybe like Miles Davis's, here's the little Ogie strip thing there. If you're a fan of like Miles Davis's work from like the late 60s, early 70s, as fusion into the funk era, that sort of thing, maybe some similar era John Coltrane, you'll love this. It's got plenty of Japanese musicians on here, as well as some regular names from the New York scene at the time. Let's see, we got Steve Grossman on soprano saxophone, George Cables on bass. Like I said, Teruo plays bass as well. You got Lenny White, drummer from Return to Forever, plays on here. Alfonso Muzon plays on here.
Nice.
Who else?
Star, yeah.
Yeah. Alvern Bunn, Keiji Kachido. Who else? Sandy Hewitt does vocals on one or two tracks. You got Hubert Eves, the third, Ron Jackson on percussion, various other guys, John Miller, piano, Charles Sullivan on trombone or trumpet. Really good stuff if you like kind of rare, obscure fusion from the early 70s. It's about 43 minutes long. really, really classy stuff, really fun. Yeah, if you like that kind of fusion sound. And this is a really cool rarity. I may show other ones on future episodes. I'm not going to do all this type of stuff today, but I picked up a whole bunch of them from Ken, all different sessions. In fact, anybody who's familiar with Kazumi Watanabe, the great Japanese guitar legend, he also appeared on a bunch of sessions from around this time too. And I have him really early on in his career on a bunch of these what do you call them, Three Blind Mice releases. So yeah, so check that out. Available over at the Laser's Edge, lasercd.com, from the man himself, Mr. Ken Golden.
Very cool.
That I'll turn it over to Rand.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Ryan.
7:26 here in California. I got one. I'm going to do box sets, guys. So excuse me while I lift big, heavy things.
Good Lord.
Steve Hillage, nice.
Searching for the spark. This thing is unbelievable.
Wow.
Man,
I haven't really got into it too much yet. Just
That
because
made me
trying to
cough
find
there, man.
time. Do you want me to pull the lid
you got a
off?
workout lifting that
What's in
thing.
it?
I know, right? It's like,
Do you want
It's
me
like
to pull the
lifting a
lid
table.
off and show you what's in it?
if you can, but you can at least tell
Yeah,
us what's included in there. That looks-
22
Easy
CDs.
enough.
22. Wow.
Yeah, 22 CDs. You get a hardcover book, Stephen.
Nice.
It's about that
No,
thick.
that's cool.
Wow, that's a real book. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And I just looked it up on Discogs, and the last one that sold was $500, and now it's not available.
Oof.
And that was March 10th. And I just checked to see if you could
Rand, do you
find
know
it.
how many copies they produced for that?
I don't.
It's probably not a lot, right?
I think it was limited edition.
Did you get a deal?
Soft cover.
That's a nice book.
Show you.
Yeah, that's nice.
that's where you like the scrapbook stuff. Yeah.
Very cool.
Love Steve Hillage. For those that don't know, he was the guitar player in the best years of Gong.
Mhm.
Great guitar player. And then you get this. I don't know what it is. It's an art print that was done by Maquette Garati, his lady. And she was also in Gong. She goes by the name of Babylonioni. And you get the Motivation Radio poster.
Oh, okay.
And you get, this is just unbelievable. It's like Christmas.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah.
you get the Fish Rising poster.
Oh yeah, Fish Rising's great.
Oh yeah, it's like a Gong album in disguise.
Yeah.
With
It's a Gong album without David Allen, which
yeah, and then you got
probably best.
Dave Stewart on keyboards, which is nice.
Yeah.
Fish Rising. That was the original promo poster for the album, 1974. And then you get an L poster. L's a great album. Backing band is Utopia somehow.
Nice.
And then you get, there's two little book of words. There's 1 and 2, because he didn't put his lyrics on all the albums.
Talk about more bang for your buck.
Yeah,
You get-
right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then you get this little pin, which is really cool.
This
What's it
is
say?
totally a box for the collector nerd, right? I mean,
It is, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
It's-
is there
it
any
says-
music in it? We don't care.
It says Sky. It says Sky Drunk Heartbeat Band.
all right.
Sky Drunk. And then you get 22 CDs, and he also threw in Con Space Shanty. Which
Really?
Now,
Wow.
now I have. Now
That's
I
a good
have.
album.
It's hard to get these out. There, I think he gave. Wait a minute. I could just pull this out real quick. I can't really. He didn't put any. What do you call it? Like ways to put your finger in the CDs, so you can't really. They're all falling out now.
Yeah,
Oh.
suction cup.
My
Yeah.
dog is gonna go crazy.
Exactly.
I just dropped a bunch of CDs on my dog. I've got 3 versions of this now. This is a mini LP,
Nice.
and I've got the the plastic CD, and I've also got the LP. So yeah, 22 CDs, everything he ever did is in here. Just freaking unbelievable. And
Now,
a lot
Rand,
of
is that
rare-
everything but the Gong stuff?
yeah, there's no Gong in there.
Okay, all right. So it's all his solo stuff and special appearances and all
Yeah.
and stuff.
And
Gotcha.
there's some really rare live CDs. So there's 22 in total.
Wow.
22.
Did you get a good deal on it, Rand?
Yeah, I got it in 2018, and at the time that we had to evacuate because of forest fires, and I had to pick one thing to take with me, so I took this. Because at the time,
Good
it was the
choice.
most valuable thing that I had. But to tell you the truth, I can't remember what I paid for it. I think it was about $350.
Sounds like you get a lot for your money, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And here's another one, live at Schwabinger Brau, Munich.
Cool.
That's a cool shot.
It's a gatefold. This has, all his stuff, Salmon Song, New Age Synthesis, Hurdy-Gurdy, Glissando. Yeah, he does really spacey versions of Donovan and the Beatles. But it's all too much. And I just love him. I think he's a great guitar player. I'll tell you one
Yeah.
thing, if you know about the band Osric Tentacles and Ed Wynn, their guitar player, he wouldn't be where he is today if it hadn't been for Steve Village.
Yep, that's true.
That band sounds like Gong basically without vocals.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, now I got to pull this crap back.
Well, you got a few minutes while everybody else goes to get settled over there, Ray.
Yeah.
Very cool set. All right, Davey, what do you got? First choice today.
Well, firstly, thank you very much for inviting me on the channel. It's an absolute pleasure after watching.
Now have a double dose of Scotland on Sea of Tranquility, right?
We do indeed. So I'll take this opportunity to invite Stephen Reed to go independent and set up the Scottish connection, and we can move away from that guy down in Lancashire. No, we do love Mr. Bray. So quick introduction then, just briefly before going to my picks, about how the curse can affect us. The curse is what leads you to end up with Deep Purple, the concerto, and then you go into a shop and you see another copy of Deep Purple, the concerto on DVD, and you go, oh, do I have that? Oh, I'm not 100% sure, I better pick it up just in case. And then at a record fair 6 months later, you see a third copy and you go, just in case, I can't quite remember. Is that the one that I couldn't remember the last time? And you end up with 3 identical copies of the concerto for group and orchestra. You don't even sell them, you just keep them.
You just keep them. Well, you never know. You might have a buddy at some point who doesn't own it. You'd be like, guess what? I've got a copy for you.
Yeah, or share the
Only
concerto.
$100.
Only 100.
Yeah. To be fair, one of them didn't have the booklet in it, so And then the curse also leads you to do things like buy this baby, the court crimson.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Which is official, came from because Mr. Fripp wouldn't, he'd have your channel closed down if we didn't show that it was official. But if your mother-in-law is around and you think, well, she might think that's a mirror, and you can just turn it round and it gives you discipline. So you can just take the ugliness away. But
See that.
I personally always,
I guess it didn't show up too well.
I always thought that's a beautiful album cover anyway. I've never had any problems with it. But yeah, a nice 3D.
Yeah, that's my lock screen on my phone right now.
Yeah. So my first pick then, I was always told when you're the new boy in class to be nice to teachers. So I thought I better pick something that is Peter approved. So I'm going with this box set of the Ritchie Blackmore story, which came out in, let's see, 2000, what is Eagle Vision, who put out just about everything good worth watching, 2015 from Blackmore Productions. So it came out in a standard Blu-ray, so you can just get it on its own. Or you can pick up this box set, which comes with the full kind of story and then all kind of.
I have that. That's a really good set.
Yeah.
It's a good
And
DVD.
Not really informative, I'm skipping pages here, but it's just more of a photo album rather than notes and whatnot. But it's still jam-packed with great shots throughout his career, and right up to kind of Rainbow's last days, and that's when we come to the disc itself. So you get the documentary up there, and then you get the last Rainbow concert in '84. You get that on DVD and 2-disc CD. So that's the last ever with the GLT lineup. So it's Roger Glover and Ritchie would obviously then go on to the Purple reunion a few months later. GLT, and then Rosenthal, Dave Rosenthal was on keys, and Chuck Burgess on drums. But yeah, I mean, it's a kind of greatest hits set, really. At that point, I mean, they even do one from Tokyo on it, which is a kind of bizarre choice for this lineup to do. But the documentary, if you haven't seen it, is absolutely brilliant because you actually get to see Ritchie Blackmore smiling quite a few times, and in the extras, he laughs, which I had to pause and rewind it and go, has that been dubbed over? There's no way Ritchie Blackmore laughed at anything. But no, he's genuinely happy.
And David, he probably hasn't laughed since.
No, yeah, I think that was his, I think it was just trap wind, to be honest. But he does say that Streets of Dreams is the best thing he's ever made. And I thought, really? I mean, I know he's got the, he's probably doesn't want to praise Purple too much, and he's never been too high on praising the Dio Rainbow too much, but
right.
The Street of Dreams really the best thing you've ever done, Ritchie? Come on. We all know it's your last Blackmore's Night album. Come on, it's the Christmas Blackmore's Night album. That's the best thing you've ever done. But yeah, this is a terrific set. So a little bit of Rainbow love in here, but really Ritchie Blackmore's story is what you want this for. It's got a plethora of extras. I picked it up on eBay. Took a couple of days to get here. Took a couple more days to get into. And actually, it's a really good Live in Japan set that you get with it as well. I'm not as big on the GLT. I know you did the show a few weeks ago, but the 1982 verses on the Hudson Valley Squares. I'm not as big on the GLT era. I much prefer, in fact, I prefer Dougie White as a frontman, to be honest, but that's probably the Scotsman in me speaking as well. Get him on the show. You had Ian Anderson last week, that makes me the third Scot, so there you go. But yeah, that's my number one pick for the week, and that's me sucking up to the boss by having Ritchie Blackmore. That's my first contribution to SOT.
All right, job well
You
done.
have that, Pete?
Good pick.
I have the Blu-ray. I don't have the full box thing. Yeah, I never even knew
I
it was
have it on
available.
Dish Network.
What's that?
I recorded it off Dish Network. I haven't even watched it
Yeah, it's a
yet.
good documentary, really.
It is. I
saved
have
it.
the DVD of it. It's really good.
Yeah. All right, our
It's
center
extras as
square,
well.
Scott Berry.
All right. Well, I just start off by saying I never really thought of myself as a collector of music. For music, it's just I get music, I listen to it, But in the age of streaming and Spotify and all that, if we're still buying physical media, well, I guess we're collectors, right? So my first pick, we're going to go way back in the time machine to the mid to late 60s, to the garages of America, and listen to Nuggets,
Yeah.
which is a collection of various garage bands from the 60s. And box sets, it looks like this is going to be a battle of the box sets today, right? And they're just kind of the ultimate collectible that you can play. They're lots of fun, lots of pictures and artwork. I mean, I get this nice booklet with it, with bios on the bands, lots of photos, lots of artwork, very nice. I love the covers on these things. 4 discs.
Oh,
But well over 100 songs on this thing. And it's mostly 3-chord rock played by mostly obscure bands and some one-hit wonders. It's about 25 to 30. Most are under 3 minutes, almost all of them. 25% of the songs that were hits are probably familiar to many of the listeners out there. There's lots of nice catchy hooks, lots of guitar fuzz and feedback. Farfisa organ comes up a lot on these songs. Came out, the recordings are mostly, 65 to 68. These bands, they play with a lot of energy and passion. Songs are very catchy. And as a style of music, it ended up being very influential on hard rock and metal and punk later on. And although many of these bands were not really comprised of the most accomplished musicians, they did play their own instruments. And it was a common practice at the time for many of the bigger name artists to actually punch up their sounds in the studio with hired guns, basically, professional studio musicians that were uncredited. And that's not the case here. This is do it yourself. They did it all themselves. So you got to give them some props for that, right? And had this on my radar for a number of years. I got this at Half Price Books, which I frequent a lot in the Austin area.
Great little shop here.
You go there?
Well, we don't have any around here, but whenever I travel, I seem to always have one in the town where I'm at. So yeah, but here in New York, I don't know if there are any here at all.
Yeah, it just seemed like whenever I did find it in the past, it was either in really lousy shape or missing a disc, or it was like way overpriced. And then, this was only $30 for the whole set, and it's in
That's not bad.
immaculate condition. It's like brand new. And it's like, needless to say, I jumped right on it. And some of the highlights include, I had Too Much to Dream last night by the Electric Prunes, Dirty Water, the Standells, Lies, the Knickerbockers, You're Gonna Miss Me, 13th Floor Elevators, the legendary Austin band. Another legendary Austin band, the Sir Douglas Quintet, She's About a Mover.
She's about a mover.
Yeah, got Amboy Dukes with the young Ted Nugent, Journey to the Center of Your Mind.
Okay.
On it, but he played, sounds good. And got Wooly Bully, Sam and the Sham.
Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, yeah.
Yeah.
Question mark and the Mr. Beans. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got Open My Eyes by the Nazz, which has a young Todd Rundgren.
Rundgren, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And for anyone interested, there is a 1-disc version out there that features mostly the better known stuff and costs a lot less. I
would think though, if you got to get the box set because you want all the kind of the
Well,
yeah.
I would say there's definitely a level of fan on this kind of thing, and I'm the one that wants the whole bunch. And,
what the 1-disc does is it just takes those better, well-known names that you mentioned there, and essentially makes it, here's the people you've actually heard of.
And just looking at the names of some of these bands, it's like a Strawberry Alarm Clock, Electric Prunes,
But I mean, they've been used in my way. I mean, Rocky Erickson is a kind of cult artist now, and so the 13th Floor Elevators are a lot bigger posthumously than they ever were at the time. So,
well, I live in Austin, and he was kind of an icon here.
And I'd imagine Sir Douglas Quintet would be down there with Doug Sam as well.
Also another icon,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that on Discogs, I looked it up. I mean, for one in the condition I've got, it goes anywhere from 50 to 200. So I thought, hey, did pretty good score.
You're like the third person now that I know who has it and has talked about that. And I'm thinking that I may have to go get that at some point.
Don't tempt me.
Well, I hope you get a deal on it.
Now, what's worse, how much we're going to buy after this show or our viewers?
I know.
I will say this about my collecting. I'm generally kind of a dumpster diver. I don't pay big bucks. If something is like $200, I don't pay that kind of money. It's just like,
but that's just it. It's.
I play the long game.
Like it's
Nuggets is my child
shopping. Right?
The further problem is that that set is kind of volume 1, because then they did Children of It, which was another 4-disc set. And then
there's an English version.
There's an English version, and there's also a San Francisco one. So there's at least 4 versions. And then there's one that kind of copied Nuggets called Pebbles. So, you know, which is also exactly the same idea. So you've got nuggets and pebbles. You can collect just those kind of one-hit wonder garage
Right,
rock
and-
bands for the rest of your days.
There's a few of these bands I would like to investigate further. I mean, most of them, you're going to be lucky to find anything else by them. At all,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's probably
not
that's
everything's
the
rare, but most of it's pretty good.
Yeah.
that's the great thing about a box set like that. It's like, all right, so here you're going to know probably a small fraction of the artists that are on there, right? And you may or may not already have those songs on other albums or collections. And then there's the bands that you discover from there that you want to then go and investigate those catalogs, right? And then there's the stuff that what you get on that collection, you're not going to find them anywhere else, right? So
Right.
kind of like a triple-edged sword there. So cool.
Most of
Now,
those songs were played on AM radio when I was growing up. I was like 14 years old when that stuff happened.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good luck hearing any of that on the radio. I remember hearing a lot of it on the radio when I was, first getting into music, and most of it you don't hear anymore.
Yeah.
It got labeled acid rock, and then the oldie stations refused to play it.
Yeah. Cool. All right,
Another thing too is when you see these collections on Amazon or whatever, Discogs, you think, oh my God, I got to get it. I got to get it right now. They're going to be there. Most likely they'll be there like a month down the road or a couple. You don't have to get it right away. You know what I mean? Like,
You don't know that
But
for
that,
sure.
that's not what the curse is about, Armand.
Yeah.
no, but the curse is always going to be there, whether you get it 2 weeks or a week later. It's like, it's always going to be
Thankfully,
there.
we have various
innate.
sources to get stuff. So yeah.
The curse is within
True.
you. It's innate. It's a part of you. So it's always going to be there. So you can always get it. I mean, I'm one to talk shit, but still, I'm learning how to sort of appease the curse, just relax, and then get it later on if I have to.
Manage it anyway. Right?
Yeah, you have to
To
manage the
Armando's
curse.
point, it's like, you see someone talk about something, you're like, I got to go get that. So you go, I mean, most of us, I think our first instinct is to go see what it's selling for on Amazon, right? But to your point, you don't really have to buy it right then and there if you can find a copy, because then you can say, well, let me go see how much it is from various sellers on eBay. Let me go see how much it is from various sellers on Discogs. Let me see discount DVD, import CDs.
Exactly.
All these places you can go that are very fair with their prices and have good availability of products. So yeah, it's showing restraint, I think, is just as much part of the curse as anything else. So,
It has to be.
yeah, it totally.
In theory.
Yeah. All right, Jamie.
All right. I was looking at what I was going to show today, and I'll try to be fast because I got a sense it's going to be a short show. I literally have something old, something new, and something blue. So I'll go with the something blue. Blu-rays. I bought some live
Only
Blu-rays,
3.
and I am not kissing up to the teacher. I picked some stuff he may not like. But I did get Monterey Pop, which is really cool. Criterion. That's what I call them. I did get the Rolling Thunder review, Bob Dylan. I know.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
on
favorite.
Netflix, but I wanted the special feature on this one is you get to put it on a shelf. That's the special feature. But this is the one I'm really excited about. The Last Waltz came out, Criterion, 4K. This movie means a lot to me. I have a lot of stories that go with this movie. I actually found out about this movie from Whoopi Goldberg. She was on, do you guys remember here in the States, Bob Costas had a show called Later, and he would just sit on 2 chairs away from each other with a rug.
I remember
underneath,
that.
no audience, and they would just talk. And he had Whoopi Goldberg on there, and she was talking about this movie, and she said she loved it, how it started off saying this movie should be played loud. I'm like, I'm 23 years old. I'm like, I gotta find this movie. I'm gonna, no internet at the time. So I walked down I was living on Mount Washington of Pittsburgh, which looks over the whole city. You've probably seen shots of it maybe during Steeler games or something. And we had a little video shop where you rent stuff about 4 blocks away. And I walked down there and they had it. And I rented it. And I loved it. My little crappy 16-inch TV. I did have it hooked up to my stereo speakers. And I called my buddy, Mr. Drew Bissell. You got to come over here. And we would always partake in certain things. And we would always drink a lot of beer. And we would watch this movie about once a week. I would walk down there, stumble down there sometimes, rent this movie. There were mornings I woke up and I would see it on the coffee table. Oh, I don't think I remember going to get that last night. And I actually told the dude one time. Yeah, it was like, oh, we did that, huh? I actually told the dude one time, I said, look, how many people are renting this movie, man? Can I just buy it off you? He didn't have a computer system. He just busted out the old school pages. He says, it was my name all the way down. He goes, you are the only one who rents it. He goes, but I think I'm getting more money off you renting it than I would selling it to you. Like, son of a bitch. All right, here's my $250. So yeah, and I brought this movie since those times when in my young 20s, without, you know, when I didn't have a care in the world, through the rest of my life. I bought it on VHS. I introduced other people to it. I bought it on DVD and introduced my wife to it. I know all the lines to this movie, you know, all the interviews and everything. My wife now knows the lines. In this Criterion I watched yesterday, you know, upstairs with the big, nice stereo system, the big TV, the 4K. It was kind of like watching it for the first time again, man. I've seen this movie more than any movie, more than Star Wars, more than Raiders of the Lost Ark, ever.
Wow.
Give us some lanes,
Because it's a
Jamie.
party when it's on. You don't put Star Wars on when you're hanging out with buddies. I don't anyways, but I put this on when I'm hanging out with buddies. So throughout my life, I've been through a lot of parties, guys, and this has been a part of a lot of those parties. So yeah,
I have that. That's a really good concert. It is.
Yeah,
I have the box
I need to
set.
get it. I've seen it several times, but I don't actually own it.
there's no doubt.
Criterion does a great job. I mean, that's,
And one of my favorite moments on the movie is they recorded The Wait in a sound stage. It's not part of the concert. And
Staples.
Mavis Staples, God, her voice in that song, I almost have a little crush on her in that video. And at the end, the best part is when it ends and she goes into the microphone. Beautiful. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it was. That version of that song, it might be a top 10 song of all time for me.
Jamie,
Because it's
I'm gonna match you and say that it's also my favorite concert film of all time. The band are my favorite band of all time, and I think I could also play along with you in every single line from that movie.
Right.
And
Stuffing baloney.
I've got this version of the Last Waltz, which is
Mother of God.
it's
So big and knocked the
so
camera
big,
over.
like a
it knocked the
refrigerator.
camera off there. Yeah, it knocks the camera off there. So if you can still hear me beyond this, this is the leather-bound version. I'm going to hold it up and then try and move my camera back.
I don't know what I'm
Technical
not getting.
difficulties.
'Cause there's so much love for the Last Waltz, and I must be the only
It's
guy.
music, and it's, for me, it's music in its purest form. You
Yeah,
can dress it
it
up
is.
however you want from that.
That's a good way to
Make it
describe it.
music.
This epic here, which is the Martin Scorsese presented it to Robbie. It is the entire shooting Bible for the film.
Good Lord.
Look at that book.
Done.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we
Done.
experience technical difficulties right now,
Look at my little thing that I'm showing off.
Done leather bound. Look at the size of that.
it made me cough. My God.
It is 600 pages.
My word.
Oh my.
Robbie had it presented it to him for the 40th and said, we need to make some of these available for the fans. And I was lucky enough to get my hands on it. It's full of the actual shooting script. And then when you go into the back, actual photographs of the concert, not printed on the paper, but real photos stuck down by hand.
Good
And then,
Lord.
yeah. Then in the back, you get the 4 CDs, 2 Blu-rays, and a Blu-ray exclusive to the set of a 5.1 mix and 2 interviews with Marty and Robbie. It is a behemoth. And you know
Is real.
Definitely.
I've got 10 other band box sets over there. But you know what Rand was saying about, oh, you can get a deal I did not get a deal on this, so I just ponied up for this. This was just take my money,
Take my money,
dog,
please. I don't care what it
yeah.
costs. Right? Get it here as
Ready,
quick.
take my wife, take my dog.
Yeah.
Go away.
I was going down to the pawn shop every day, you know, hawking things. You know?
Wow.
But
Yeah,
So
I
the
never
curse-
even seen that
that,
online or anything.
That
yeah,
Criterion
there was
set. How well is the supplements on that Criterion set? Probably pretty good. They do a great job on that stuff.
Oh, on mine?
Yeah.
What are you asking about?
The supplements. Criterion usually has a lot of
Oh,
special features and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there's
it's-
it's
carried
not
over.
it's a new
Yeah.
interview with Martin Scorsese on it.
okay.
Lasts about 20 minutes. I watched that yesterday. That's the only. I don't know if the other things, like the audio commentary, if that's DVD or not. It probably is, and I think it's the same one.
they've been on it right from the
Yeah, they
start,
talk about
yeah.
putting the red light in the window during some scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. During the interviews.
All right.
Those
Sounds
interviews
good. All
are
right, let's
great.
move along. Nick.
Oh, I need to find a way to put this back now.
Alrighty, Jamie.
The
I'm
curse
gonna
is heavy.
Jamie, I'm going to steal your thunder for a little bit. I know you're the prop master. I'm the pun master, so I apologize about that. We got a glass and we've got a hammer.
Glass.
Don't do it.
Glass hammer, double live. It is hard to find their stuff.
Yeah.
I'm at the age where I can still kind of stream because at my job I walk around, I listen to music and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's nice to actually hold it in your hands and be able to have this this jewel case right here. It's got double live disc one, the actual DVD right here, and disc two. Now, I've always been more of a visual person.
Oops,
Yes, I can listen to it, but at the same time, I need to actually go and witness it and see it, touch it, feel it, have it be sensory. It is better. So I actually did watch Glass Hammer double live, and I was honestly blown away. This is not a 3-minute power chord power pop band or songs that are, you know, like 6 minutes or something. I mean, for crying out loud, one of their songs, The Night of the North, hope you can see that, it's 26 minutes long. This is an album you have to sit down. This is a concert you have to sit down and you have to watch with popcorn. And it does help to be sober, not drunk. So recorded live at Roz Fest. This is the total running hour, 1 minute, 30 seconds from Dolby Surround. You can find their stuff on various websites, but honestly, it is kind of hard to find Glass Hammer on YouTube. You can't find it much. So yeah, streaming is nice, but at the same time, I don't know, it just feels solid just holding in your hand. I got this from I got this recently, and no, it's not anything as extreme as that Last Waltz box that I just got. Damn it.
Oh, plenty of earthquakes going about today, isn't there?
Nice.
So if you want to talk about something that's both melodic and complex and kind of uplifting in a way, this is definitely the way to go. Glass Hammer is a nice, it's a nice, good introduction for a band that has 16 albums over
Yeah,
the
they
past.
got a lot of records as Rand and I found out recently, right?
Yep, that's where it took some inspiration from. So if you want
There you go.
Glass and a Hammer,
That's awesome.
there you go.
And Nick, I will say that Glass Hammer is not a band that plays live a lot. So that's why it makes that set. And they released was it Live in Chattanooga? They released a live album earlier in their career that was
Lex Live.
recorded in their home state in Tennessee. So they don't play live all that often. And they played at Nearfest once, and they played at Rozfest another time. And I don't know if the Nearfest performance was ever released as a live album, but that's
Where did you get
hard to
this?
get that CD, that live CD.
Where did you get it, Nick?
I got it from my local record store, Rock of Ages, in Garden
Okay.
City.
Wow, the
Just
legendary
here I
rock
come.
right?
Just got it ordered, and I'm like, yeah, I may as well. Actually, it's a good introduction to the band. I say that live albums are a good introduction. It's the shifting of the guard, what have you, and then you can just go explore from there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Discogs, here I come. Here we go.
yeah, there you go. Great band. Glasshammer are awesome. And I'm
There
sure
goes
Nick
the
is gonna
wallet,
be-
Armando.
Yeah, right.
Thank God for overdraft protection.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Nick will be talking about that little local shop that he goes to quite often. And I think we're all lucky if we have a local place that we can go to, whether it's a music store, bookstore, comic shop, whatever, that has like inventory like that. And not just, the top 10 best-selling albums on Billboard charts, but actually has box sets and rare things and good used stuff. So
Yes.
that's hopefully we'll be hearing more stories from Nick on that particular place. All right, back to Armando.
Okay, round one went very long, so we're gonna try and I'm gonna try and keep round two
Yeah.
as concise as I can.
That's a good idea. We don't need a 3-hour show. I kind of didn't anticipate we would have this much to say. Maybe we
No,
just do one
I'm
or two
sorry about
questions
that,
going
yeah.
forward. No, but
Um,
you're absolutely right though. But this is fun. But yeah, we don't
Yeah,
want to use up for 3 hours.
My next choice, my next purchase, I got the same time I got the David Bowie. Man, the curse is real, guys. I'm telling you. I started watching Sea of Tranquility, and I got into some Frank Zappa. So Zappa and the Mothers released a live 8 CD collection called, I think, I'll show it to the camera.
Yeah, Mother's
Live 71. And it's an 8 CD collection taken from June of 71. The concerts from the Fillmore East in New York on June 5th and June 6th. And concerts at the Armory in Scranton on 71. And the main concert that people are talking about on this set is from the Rainbow in December 10th of 1971. Now, again, these sets, both this set and the Bowie set, they come with a book that detail everything that you want to know about these shows, etc. I showed you the box. I'll try and lift up the the CD,
Yeah.
that hold everything. All of the discs are in here. Gotta be careful because the discs are gonna fall out and I can't pick them up. So if they do fall out. So I saw this at my local store. It was like ranged for like $159 before tax. I got it off of Amazon with delivery. I got it the next day for like 144. So again, Jeff Bezos, hello, you won out again, right? And in terms of Frank Zappa himself, the one thing I like about watching Sea of Tranquility and about being on these shows is you learn so much. When you think you know music, or that you know all there is to know about music, you always learn something more. And that's the trick, is to be open-minded and to learn something different. If you're open to it, if you're willing to try
Absolutely.
something new, right? So thank you, Pete, for that. The curse is definitely real. And
It is.
again, my bank account hits you for it, big time. But
Heavenly bank account.
Yes.
exactly. But yeah, that's my second choice. I really haven't been able to listen to it because I've been ill with COVID. I plan to dive into this week. And yeah, that's my second choice.
We could do a whole episode on the Frank Zappa rabbit hole on this show. I mean, seriously.
I have a concert from Philly. I have one of the You Can't Do That on Stage. I have volume 2. And I have the Roxy box set. Right.
Armando's got material for the next 5 months on the show. See
That looks really
That's
tempting.
exactly it. That's it. So
That looks
catch
really
me next
tempting
month,
and really
guys. I'll be
cool.
here.
Scott's already looking it up, getting ready to pull out that credit
Well,
card.
that's the thing. I here I am. I got my Zappa shirt on. Obviously, I'm a fan, but that's a lot of Flo and Eddie for me.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you don't like Billy the Mountain,
Yeah,
it's maybe not the place. Maybe not.
I
the
actually
place
like
to
them on
start
Chunga's
with.
Revenge, but
Yeah.
at live, something about them live. It's just
Studio
yeah.
stuff is really good though. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
some people don't like them. Some people are like, they're good. Some people are like, I tried watching the 200 Motels movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not
Same.
even if I was on acid and I don't do
I
drugs.
did that.
Could I even? I sat through 20 minutes. I want my 20 minutes back.
Yeah, it's
Give
not
me
for
back my
everybody.
20
It's not for
minutes.
everybody.
You know, it's like, no, I can't do it.
It's a treat.
Thankfully, Zappa has so much material and such
Yeah.
it's so
Yes.
wide stylistically speaking that there's
Yeah.
something for everybody. But I don't know
That's
anybody
true.
who's going to love all of it. I'm a huge Zappa
Yeah.
fan. There's stuff in his catalog even I don't like. So yeah, I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. I mean,
Thingfish, I can't do Thingfish.
Well, yeah, I mean that is also the problem, Pete, because if you jump in at the wrong end, it may put you
It
off
can
for
ruin you
life.
for everything else.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
you know we've got 2 Zappa t-shirts on here today. So
Yep.
we'll also get a few Zappa hounds going. Like there's a show in there
Nice.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you did one. You did one up at the brewery a few years ago. I remember that show well. That was
Yeah, with Mike.
a
Yeah.
great. Yeah, it was a great discussion.
All right. Well, just to show you that the curse is indeed real, even for myself, as if you didn't already know, we did a show here on the channel a couple of weeks ago about the Tea Party with Armando and Martin Popoff and Rick Labonte, and I got the curse as well. The Tea Party
was a
live in
great show.
Australia.
you got it.
Yes, I did, Armando. I told you I was going to. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Oh,
Double
good.
live album. Amazing stuff. Such a great band. Again, this is one of those bands that just because they never catch on outside of their country or whatever, here in North America, well, here in the US, the Tea Party have always been nobodies, unfortunately. And I just heard the name occasionally, but never bothered to investigate them. And over the last like 6-8 months, I have been heavily listening to these guys, and I think they're amazing. And I was finally happy to get this live album, thanks to the words of positivity from my comrades on that show. And yeah, this is well worth getting. If you like the studio albums, you want to hear them cut loose a little bit more live on stage, this is the one to get. So all sorts of great stuff
very
on
welcome.
here. The Rivers on here, Psycho Pomp, The Messenger, Fires in the Head, The Badger, Halcyon Days, Temptation. It's all here. Great stuff. Great
I
stuff.
found the first
Fantastic.
album on cassette out in the wild.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
Original cassette
check that out.
last year. You don't see that very often. So
No.
No, you
not at all.
don't.
Very cool.
I'm gonna have to check
Bloody
them out.
hell.
Yeah, Scott, I would say you would probably dig them quite a bit.
Okay.
Really
That-
good.
They
They
Really
come
good.
up a lot on the channel, so, and then there seems to be a lot of buzz about them, so.
Yeah, really good.
Please
I'm
investigate.
amazed at
I
how
like
great they
them,
are.
Scott.
It's like one of those bands that you just like, you discover so late, and then you hit yourself. You're like, God, why wasn't I listening to these guys 30 years ago?
Well,
Canada
there's
Secret.
only so much time, you know.
That's right. Yeah, only so much time. All right, Rand, back to you.
And-
Yeah, I forgot to tell you about where I got that Steve Hillage. It was Amazon.com. And a new one on eBay is going for,
Oh my word.
Wow. Okay.
Moving on.
well, the used one's only 604.
Only.
And I bought this on eBay just so everybody knows. I forgot about that. So, yeah.
And that version of that Tea Party is like $16.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, I got it for about that or a little bit less. I just knew I was
Yeah.
going to get it pretty quick from the guy
Sorry,
that
keep
sold it.
going. Sorry.
Is it
All
okay
right,
is it okay to tell the prices
Yeah, if you want. Hey,
currently? Because I tell you, hey, who's drinking? Everybody raise their glass if they're drinking,
Uh-oh.
because I got something to say.
Uh-oh. I see Eddie Jobson there. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Anthony,
geez.
this one's for you.
I bought this directly from Eddie Jobson.
Just water.
Oh my goodness.
18 discs, 4 Blu-rays, 14 CDs. Everything UK did is in this box. Everything. Amazing box set.
Now, Rand, did you get that when it first came out, or did you buy that?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
dedicated to Anthony Ferraro because it's impossible to find it now.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
Nick showed his off a couple months ago on the box set show, and I know you had to chase that down.
On Discogs, you
That
can get
was-
one for that price.
So good.
Oh, my word.
Wow, $1,100. Jesus.
Okay, I
Not
got,
this
I
guy.
got a mortgage to pay
Yeah.
for God's sake.
I'll just pick up the Hillage for 650. That'll do.
You know how you can go to Google Shopping and see things? It's not even there.
Wow.
It's getting really, really hard to find this, but
I bet
I
you
know
they
we-
didn't make over 500 of those, and that's
I know we
probably-
have to move
probably
right
less.
along real fast, but basically it's just got the disc and a booklet. Nice booklet.
Fantastic.
If you get the Japanese Night After Night, you get this gatefold where the band is sort of playing.
Yep.
But it doesn't look like that. It doesn't have the lyrics in the way. I have that, by the way. I don't know what to say. They're a great band. I love UK. I got to see them with Allan Holdsworth. Open for El Di Meola, which
Crazy.
was a mind-blowing concert. They only played 45 minutes, but it was like, and
Is
Allan
it-
Holdsworth looked like he wasn't even part of the band. He was kind of off to the side of the stage. He was going like, when do I get to leave? He just had this, and he was playing amazing. I mean, just amazing. Because I've seen him 4
Excuse me.
times, but once with UK. And I think the best playing I ever saw him with was with UK. And he
Wow.
was so unhappy. But when he's unhappy, that's the best he plays.
Yep. Yep.
It's just
He's the ultimate sideman. I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's
yeah. And you know, it's funny. He said that Enigmatic Ocean was his favorite session.
That's great. Jean-Luc Ponty album. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
first one I ever bought. Yeah. I love it.
Isn't it amazing that a band who only had 2 studio albums and 1 live album could have that big, lush, gorgeous looking box set like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. All right, Davey, back to you.
Okay. So to go along with the old official mug here, I shall pick up from King Crimson bag. Yeah. Unfortunately, they just went with the Discipline logo here. No ugly face on the front, but nice ugly face here. But who cares about a bag when you can open it up and pull out
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
The Road to Red, which I had been chasing for a while, and it went out of print, and it was starting to go for silly money. And then last month, Burning Shed, who are the outlet that Fripp's DGM company use in the UK to sell through, said they've got stock of Road to Red back in at sale price, so not inflated 500 quid and stuff. So hello, thank you, yoink. So this is essentially, as it sounds, the Road to Red, mostly made up of live concerts. Pete, I know there's definitely one that you've got because you did a review of the individual disc. It's the last gig they did in Central Park. I think
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
that's a great show. Great show.
It's insanely good. That is even on the liners. Fripp says he thinks it might be the best Crimson show in his diary. John Whitten says so as well. But to go into it, I won't show everything because I don't know how many of you've got a few of these sets, but these are the final word on Crimson. So they always give you prints of whatever albums are included with the original vinyl covers. So this one also includes the USA album and stuff. And then I thought this was interesting. It gives you the tour schedule with the support acts. And the top one here, their opening gig was April the 11th in Maryland. They were headliners, and then Spooky Tooth supported. The next night, they were the support acts, so it's Crimson second, Camel were the bottom of the bill, and the top, the Kinks. That was the Spectrum film. Yeah.
Wow, the Kinks, Crimson, and Camel. That's
What a line.
And then,
That's a heck of a combination.
isn't it? So it's 74. So the Kinks were right in the middle of like Preservation Volume 1.
Right.
School. So we're talking about the real theatrical era of the Kinks there. That era, so that would have been a weird show.
Maybe
the
they're
next night,
proggiest.
the next night they were supported by Grin. For 2 nights, they did a joint headline tour or double bill with Poco.
Oko.
Oko of all
Yes,
people, of all
Poco.
groups.
And
Yeah, that's
the
an odd
bottom-
combo.
yeah.
The bottom of the bill on that. So one night they headlined, and the next night Poco, and but the bottom both nights, Robin Trower.
Oh,
Nice.
So Poco, then Robin Trower. Well, and then after Trower, 2 days later, they were then supporting Procol Harum. And the bottom of the bill was Maggie Bell. So
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 Stone the Crows.
who obviously was in Stone the Crows with Jimmy Dewar from Robin Shaw. So, you know, and
meanwhile, Rand is smiling because Rand is like, yeah, I saw a lot of cool bills like that.
I've seen some weird billings.
One of the cool things about that is it says local support for quite a few of them, where it's maybe not a big town, so they're not going to get Poco to come or whatever. But if you read, and I won't show every bit of ephemera here because it's one of these sets that you know, we could just talk about how awesome all the memorabilia is. But you get your booklet, which is mostly made up of Fripp's diaries, which pop up on a lot of things. But this takes you through the entire tour. And one of the local bands from that tour set list, turns out was a young band called Aerosmith. And Mr. Fripp says he was not terribly impressed. Doesn't think they'll go too far. Yeah, well, I was going to say, he was kind of right, wasn't he? Artistically, he was certainly correct. Maybe not at that period, because we're talking good early Aerosmith, but, you know, he predicted the future, let's put it that way. I don't imagine Fripp's listening to Honking on Bobo anytime soon. But the diaries themselves are worth as much, well, not as much as the music, but they are absolutely valuable. So you get a full big book full of diaries and photos. Fripp, Wetton, and Buford, it sounds like they were absolutely wanting to kill each other every single day on this tour. It's a wonder they made it to the studio at the end of the tour to actually record Red. David Cross, seems like they bullied him mercilessly. He was complaining every night that they were calling him by some nickname that he hated, so they called him even more. Then John Wetton would complain to Fripp, "You're playing too loud." He would say, "You're not playing loud enough." And that kind of explains where they ended up in Central Park, where everybody just turned up to 11 because they were all trying to outplay each other at that point and just say, "Fuck you, I'm playing as loud as I want." But that in another lineup, say the Islands lineup would have been an issue. But with this lineup of Crimson, playing as loud as you want, that's not an issue because the Red material lends itself to playing as loud as hell. So this is, and I'll put this over it so that I don't spill all the discs over. This is 20. I nearly did spill a few of the discs over. This is 23 discs. Yeah, sorry, 24 discs.
Yeah, it's a massive set. Yeah.
Yeah, one DVD and 2 Blu-rays. And the Blu-rays contain the complete audio of the entire tour as well. So you can just listen to the whole thing on, you know, with as many versions as you want. And if people aren't familiar with how they're presented, what they do is, and this is standard throughout the sets, I think I've got 5 of them now. And the next one out is next month. Fripp's first solo ventures are coming out, the Exposures box set coming out. And it's going to have all the League of Gentlemen stuff, that kind of stuff. This is how they come. So in these like 3-panel digipacks with a concert on each, because again they were three band bills, so they weren't particularly long. They were usually about an hour. But sometimes the same set list from night to night. But other nights, for example, here's Starless, but it's not on the next night. Schizoid is only on this one in Asbury Park, but not on this one in Penn State. What's that? Oh, sorry, I was just fiddling that there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel.
Number 1 in my book.
And then
I'm sorry.
Loads of different names for the improvs and things. And it tells you at the bottom as well, this has been released on, so you know if you're getting, you know, all right, so I do have this version because it says this was on The Great Deceiver, which is a wonderful, before this set came out, it was really the go-to for this tour, wasn't it? The Great Deceiver box set from '92. Select tracks were released as a download in 2008. And then this disc has 2 tracks that were on the Collectible Crimson Volume 1. So it's always honest that way as well. It doesn't just say...
Yeah, I mean, that's good because I'm sitting here watching this and I'm thinking, oh my God, I almost need to have that. But then I'm thinking I probably have a lot of it already. So
Yeah, so
I've got
it's-
collectible Crimson Volume 1.
yeah.
So you have pretty much it's one of those ones where if you want the complete tour and you want to know everything that went on, the improv from night to night, that's what you want. Yeah. So I'd say the way I got it, because it'd been such a holy grail to get it from Burning Shed, I couldn't say no because I'd been looking at it and even considering paying the big bucks for it. So when it was back on sale at a reasonable price, which was £120, I think it was. So it's about $170, something like that.
That's not
still a good
unrealistic.
price.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not terrible.
which I always say, I mean, people will say, oh, that's a lot for a box set. And you think, well, there's a difference between cheap and value for money, isn't there? There's two entirely different things. But the Hillage box set is expensive, yeah. You get everything the guy's ever done. It's a career. You know, you can't really put a price on that.
Yeah.
A Sailor's Tale is the hardest one to get of those, David.
It is, yeah. And unfortunately, they aren't officially all out of print. What they do is they just print more when more are needed, but they might wait 3 years to do it.
Right.
And there's no strict, it's not like, I don't know if you've seen behind me here, but it's not like the Tull sets that are all sitting here, where you can pretty much guarantee that there's one every year. Or the Marillion sets that are over there, where you know roughly there's always something being worked on. These just come out whenever Fripp gets round to it, basically. So you might go 3 years thinking, is that done? And now we're not even doing a Crimson one. It's Fripp's solo stuff that we're going into now. So that's volume 9.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a big exposure coming out.
Exposures, yeah, which is 32 discs.
I'm gonna get that.
So buy that one when it comes out, because that's only 160 quid. So
I
that
need
will
another
show you.
room.
I wonder how much Peter Gabriel's gonna be on that.
Yeah, well, it's going to have the Blu-ray has the complete Frippertronics, which is going to be over 60 hours of his guitar stuff. So.
Jesus.
Just
I
in
do
case
that
anybody
stuff in
can't
my
go
room.
through life without all of that, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next volume where it's just it's all the recordings of him and his wife doing their softcore porn Sundays. You know, there's videos they've been doing.
Goes for more than $500.
Crazy.
Don't pay that for. You can get it on eBay UK cheaper than that. But yeah, some of the ones that later on came out, like Thrack and things, because the albums weren't as popular, they obviously didn't make as many as Red or Aspects or the 1969 recordings, which is how they've released Court of the Crimson King. Yeah, so brilliant stuff, absolutely fantastic. One night to the next, it's fun to read the liner notes and see Fripp saying, I thought that Wetton was out of tune tonight, and then you listen to the album and you go, what the hell is he talking about? But some nights you do agree with them, you think, oh yeah, you weren't quite on it tonight, but it's essential, absolutely essential.
My favorite Fripp quote is tuning a Mellotron doesn't.
He's got a great, his diaries are all very staccato the way he writes, and there's a great part where he says 740 realized that not having possessions might be the worst thing in the world, but having too many may be the thing that's even worse. 745 discussed this with John Wetton. He does not agree. So it's fun. Yeah.
All right, Scott.
Cool. All right, sir. Well, this one is probably going to be short and sweet. Unlike my first pick, it's not as collectible an item. It's just it's a new release. I've been listening to a lot. Bought it at Waterloo Records, and I go there quite a bit. And I actually met Robert Plant there once.
Wow.
Got his autograph. But anyway, Waterloo just had their 40th anniversary recently. So kudos to that.
That's cool in this day and age.
Yeah, exactly. Album I bought is the new Spoon album, Lucifer on the Sofa. And here's kind of a collector sort of thing. I put a lot of my paper, my sleeves in these little plastic things, and I save the hype sticker.
Yes.
I started doing that too with the hype sticker.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And read
Stephen.
approved.
exactly. This came out about a month ago, and I've been playing it a lot. It's right. I would say right now it's my favorite new release of the year. Been a big fan of the band since the early 2000s. And in the early 2000s, they were just hitting on all cylinders. They had a string of 4 great albums in a row. And I'd say this one is probably the best one since 2007's Ga 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 Ga. They're not a band that gets a whole lot of coverage on SOT, but I just thought, it might be a nice change of pace to mention them. They are an Austin band. I've seen them several times. Oh, you got a dog. Cool.
Apollo.
My wife and I were going to go see them on New Year's Eve, and unfortunately they had to cancel because Omicron was spiking at the time. So we missed out on that, but I have seen them a few other times. They're often classified as indie rock, but I just consider them rock. Music is comprised of mostly 3-chord rock with some catchy hooks, very high energy, with pop melodies and a slightly punky feel to it.
Sounds like Ramones.
I would say they're probably poppy sounding than the Ramones,
More
maybe.
poppy.
I have to investigate that.
Yeah,
I really do.
I love them, man. I mean, it might not be everybody on SOT's thing, but I dig them a lot. Very heavy drum beats on a lot of the songs. The band's comprised of Britt Daniel on lead vocals and bass, Jim Eno on drums, Alex Fischel on piano and other keyboards, and Gerardo Larios on guitar. Like I said, I think this is probably their best since 2007, but I don't think they've ever really done a bad album. I tend to think of them as a young band, and I guess compared to a lot of the bands we cover on here, their first album was in 1996, and that's 25 years, folks, getting the olds,
Yep, yep.
But my favorite songs so far on this has been The Hardest Cut and The Devil and Mr. Jones. So check it out if you want to try something different.
Spoon. All right.
Boom.
I've seen them on Amazon advertised, but
That title is fantastic. Lucifer on the sofa.
Lucifer on the Sofa.
Yeah. Maybe it's the name of their cat or something. Who knows?
That was a funny title.
All right, Mr. Jamie.
All right, I'm going to talk about a band that I have a very strange relationship with. Probably the first rock band I really liked as a kid, maybe for all of us, Kiss. You can see I have a little Kiss display behind me with the figures and the letters going, K-I-S-S. The thing is, I mean, I listened to Kiss, laying next to my mom's stereo as a kid. These are my original Kiss albums I've had for 45 years.
oh my God.
Actually, when I play Destroyer, I still play the version I had when I was 8 years old. It still sounds good. But I'm going to
I had all
admit,
those going cassette back in the day. Yeah.
right. But I've never had all the Kiss albums. I'll admit it. So what I am doing presently is I'm going out into the wild and trying to find all the Kiss albums I never owned, but I don't want them on CD because, you buy, my thing with Kiss is for every one good song they've done, they have 2 stinkers. If you take in the whole catalog, every single song, I'm going to go 2 to 1, 2 stinkers to 1 good song. So if you buy them on CD, like this album, unfortunately, all you get literally is music from the Elder, and that's it. Ugh. But
I like music from the
Difference of
What?
opinion, Pete?
I like that.
that's not enough for, I know it has its fans. You know what? For 3 decades, everyone agreed this album sucks. All of a
Right.
sudden now, it's a fucking masterpiece. Everyone,
I liked it when it came out in 81.
everyone settled it sucked then, it sucks now. Stop with the madness.
I
Everyone
liked
wants to
it
be
when it
so
came out in
special,
81.
but I
Jamie.
think it's great. It doesn't make you special, it makes you silly.
It's
To Van Gogh for a long
but
time
I
to
love
be
it.
appreciated.
I like it. I mean,
I was born silly, Jamie.
Well, anyway,
I was already off the Kiss train by that time.
so
Let's give Jamie
let me
his
get back on
time.
track here. Derailed back on track. I went to a record store, Spoonful Records here in Columbus, and somebody dropped off a whole big
Boom.
Kiss collection. And every time I see that, I think somebody died.
Somebody
Yeah.
died. Yeah.
Somebody died. Nobody's getting rid of all that. They also
Yeah.
got in 1,100 albums, a lot of them from the 90s, original pressings. You know, I'm like, somebody else died. So what I got is Kiss Unmasked, because I never owned it. And I don't want this piece of shit on CD. I want it on vinyl because, I mean, it has Naked City on it. That's okay. That's all. But it has.
What about Shandy?
Yeah, what about you?
Oh, Jesus
Those
Christ. No,
songs, man.
no.
It's like
Wait, so-
She's
couple
so European.
12-year-olds
I
wrote
mean, come
those
on. So,
but it has this, the order form,
Oh,
you know. So
It's all about the merchandise.
it's not some sterile CD that you buy off of Amazon and gets delivered on your front step and it's all cracked because Amazon doesn't give a shit and they throw it around. No, this is the vinyl. It comes with the poster still. Now, when you listen to this shitty music on this album, you're hearing the history. Some other kid laid in front of his mom stereo listening to this music. And he laid there very disappointed listening to this music, I'm sure. But you hear all that rich history and feel it in the vinyl, in the groove, when you touch the poster. It's more than just the music. And now I want all the Kiss albums with the original posters. I have all the 4 78 solo albums with all the posters in them as well.
Yeah.
And I actually put them together last year. I was like, I've never seen these posters together. Wow. Ah! It was like something out of a Dan Brown novel. You put them together and magic happens. Not the Dan Brown we know, a different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going out and getting all the Kiss albums with original posters. If it doesn't have the original posters and stuff, I don't want it because then you're just stuck with the music.
Yeah.
Every single album.
Yeah, everyone that has, look, if you buy these albums just for the music, it's kind of like buying baseball cards just for the bubble.
No, I get you. Kiss is probably one of the most collectible bands. I mean,
Right.
as
I
merchandise
mean, I'm
goes.
saying they've done
Which,
some.
yeah.
I love the first album. I love Destroyer, Hotter Than Hell, Dress to Kill, all great albums.
The first
And
8, I'm good with those. Yeah.
the thing is, most of the Kiss albums and the first run of pressings had you had your special little things in, like a
Stickers and all
Love
that.
Gun had a gun
Yes.
thing that so every album had a bit
That's
of
what I
merchandise
want.
as they went along, like that. There was extra stuff in the album sleeves, so
Yeah.
that's why you want to get them.
So Jamie, let me ask, because you're looking for very specific stuff here. You get everything. How trusting are you to order these albums online
On disc.
as opposed to going to a store and making sure that everything that was posted that came with that album originally is there? Like
I've only ordered maybe about 20 to 30 things on Discogs, so not a lot. Maybe that's a lot. I don't know, but that's not fun, Pete. It's the
I
search.
know, and
That's
there's no
fun. I like to
guarantee
go
that
out
when
and
you
find
get
it.
it, that it's going to have all the stuff in there that you were hoping for, right? Because as opposed
Yeah.
to going to a store and opening up and saying, okay,
Right.
the poster's here, the stickers are here, everything's intact.
I'm
fine.
trusting. If the guy has a 98.9% approval rating or more, I'm going to trust the guy.
Okay.
But I'm out there looking in the wild. We got 6 record stores here, all of them close to one another. So you can hit those in a day and come home with like a stack of shit. So it's not the most impossible thing. It'll probably take me a year to do this.
Yeah, cool.
I find it's pretty easy with individual sellers because they tend to list, photos of what's in this, this
Right.
includes this.
Yeah.
But if it's a big one of those companies that obviously just buys up stock they just reply saying, sorry, we can't check our inventory for you. So it's a total crapshoot. And
You got to be
careful.
careful because I bought very cool. I tried to buy an original, like a first run pressing of Destroyer with the blue Neil Bogart label, record label, and I sent my money, and the guy asked me for another like $10 in addition to it was gonna be like $50. I said, you didn't And I told him, I said, you agreed to this price. Now you're asking me for $10 more. I said, you should have put that in the original price. So you can either
Seriously.
take what I've given you or you send me back my money. And he sent me back the money. So you got to be really careful.
It wasn't Gene Simmons you bought it from, was it?
Yeah.
No. But it was the original. It was
Sounds
the
like-
first
sounds
one
like
from
something
Sea
you
of
would do.
Destroyer, right? And I wanted
Yeah,
that
that'd be
money.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And I also got the Rocket Ride single from them because it's the first Kiss thing I've ever owned in my life when I was a kid. And it was
Oh, wow.
sitting
I'm
at
sorry if I cut
$4
you off,
and grabbed
Jamie. I'm
it.
sorry.
Tomorrow and tonight on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I want to thank
I'm allowed
Kiss
to-
for discovering New England. I love New England.
New England's a great
Can't
band.
stand
I
Kiss.
saw them when I was in third grade with New England. My dad took me to
Oh,
go see
really?
them. Third
Yeah,
grade.
they
I
came
was-
out here in California and I missed it. I was so mad.
Nice.
I couldn't
All
go.
right, moving right along. Nick, you're up.
Okay. Well, as we all know, that Ken Golden is, well, the gold standard for when it comes to progressive stuff. You can't deny that. He's the gold man, the gold standard, gold medalist, whatever other gold jokes you want to make. The gold mine. Well, Return to Forever. I've always loved this band. Chick Corea, Stanley Clarke, Al Di Meola, Lenny White. I first heard Medieval Overture from the Romantic Warrior album.
Oh,
Blew my mind.
yeah.
Just how intricate it was, and I'm just like, this is amazing stuff. And I've shown it to my fiance and other people. Are like, this is an absolutely beautiful song and subsequent fantastic album. But it's like, and we all know Chick is one of the most prolific. He's one of the most prolific jazz musicians outside of Davis, right along there with Davis and Hancock.
Mhm.
Always want to see them live. Yes, there's some stuff out there on YouTube, but I wanted a nice full digital comprehensive set. And this one is the live Return to Forever, Returns, live at Montreux 2006. They play all their songs: Introduction, Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy, Vulcan Worlds, Sorceress, the epic on there, the 28-minute song to the Pharaoh Kings. And I'm just like, oh my word, this is
Okay,
insane.
that's on my list.
Very cool.
Armando. you need that.
I'm gonna get it.
I own that.
Yeah, I also had it on an iPod. It is the same concert, but I was honestly impressed by El Bayo de Negro, Stanley Clarke's solo, where he's just going,
Yep.
I'm just like, this is surreal. He's just having a blast. And Lenny White, he actually faced his drum kit towards Chick, who has a grand piano, a Moog synthesizer, and I think another Rhodes keyboard. So I'm like, this is a very technical 5/4 time signature band. And it's like, yeah, I recognize a couple of them, but I mean, just in front of like 3,000 to 5,000 people, just seeing a magnificent jazz fusion band return for the first time in, was it 30 years? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 29, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, get it for $15. That really is a good price.
And what's the name of it?
Very
again?
nice.
Oh,
Live in Montreux.
Live in
Montreux
Montreux?
Jazz.
Forever Return, yeah.
Amazon, here I come.
Yeah. Yeah, that is that is a mandatory purchase for anybody who loves that band. And I had the opportunity to see him on that tour and I didn't go, and I've been myself ever since.
Yeah. I don't know if it was where the
Check that
Grand
one out.
Hotel burned down, but wherever it was recorded, it was pretty damn cool to see.
The famous Montreux Jazz Festival, same place, new stage though, new stage.
Mhm.
Awesome, good pick. All right, Armando, your final pick for the day.
Lightning round. Lightning round.
Lightning
Yes.
round, yes. And then, with all these huge.
I
sets
think going
coming
forward,
up.
we're going to do 2 picks because we this is great stuff to talk about. 3 might have been a little adventurous, but that's okay. We'll learn it as we go.
No, my last one, and with all these huge sets coming out, I feel kind of inferior, but in terms of the size of the stuff. But my last set was, I started getting into the band UFO. And because they've been mentioned a lot, Michael Schenker, and,
I know what this is.
thank you, Butch. Thank you, Butch, But this set I got here, if you can see it.
Yeah, I got that recently.
It's the
Yeah.
complete
Good one.
studio collections, 1974 to 86 on Chrysalis Records. It covers the albums Phenomenon to Misdemeanor. Okay. I just got this past about 4 weeks ago, and I started listening to it. I listened to Phenomenon. Where the hell have I been? Like I just, this
Yeah.
group, this lineup, like I could not believe. Straight ahead melodic rock and roll, a lot of melody and kick-ass guitar from Schenker. Sweet Jesus. I mean, it's just an amazing group. Again, I've only been able to listen to the first album in the set, which is Phenomenon. And, you know, songs like Doctor, like, come on. I mean, like,
Mhm.
it's just an amazing set. I got this off of Amazon because my local store doesn't carry any UFO like in their.
They're hard to find.
Hmm?
They're kind of hard to find. I don't see them in the wild very much.
I know. And I thought instead of paying like $15 each per album, I got this for like $47.
Oh,
$47. There's no booklet in here. It's just like a, you know, a cardboard replica
yeah.
of the album cover, but an amazing set, you know, and well worth the money. So guys, go check it out.
And all the albums have bonus tracks too.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Every album has bonus tracks.
Now you need Strangers in the Night, 7 disc.
Sorry, what was
Now
that?
you need Strangers in the Night, the 7 disc live box set.
Let him get
The
through that
curse
first.
is
That'll-
real.
that'll be
To
the
be
next-
Not
continued.
everyone needed that.
What?
To be continued.
Talk to Butch
Yeah.
about it. He just loves it.
No, Butch already clobbered me over another thing about Pat Travers. I'm not doing that again.
Boom, boom, out go the lights.
Yep.
Yeah, I will
and I'll
say,
go
I
my
mean,
lights right now.
you've got all the best UFO albums there. They're all mandatory. And you know what? I think the moral of Armando's story right there is that there is nothing better than discovering an old band, an old great band that is
Yeah.
new to you at
Mhm.
this stage in our lives, right? How
Yeah.
cool is it when a band that I mean, I just talked about with the Tea Party before. Armando's talking about it with UFO here. You always knew about this band, you just never really listened to them. And then when you finally like break down and do it, it's like the greatest thing ever because you're like,
Yeah.
like you said it, where has this band been all my life? Well, now they're in your life.
Yeah.
That's
Or
it.
what if you never heard of them before and then someone turned you on to them and you went, holy crap, how did I miss out on this?
Right? Yep.
Crack the Skype.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's-
the thing is too, when you're looking for all this stuff, and we're moving along, I've learned very late in life. You know, I'm a late bloomer, but you have to learn how to shop
Oh,
and
yeah.
look for the deals,
Yeah.
because when you're on a
Exactly.
budget, when you're on a government pension like me, you can't pay $600 and something for, you know, oh, it's a collector's. Well, I got to eat. I gotta
Those
pay
box
bills.
sets are great for discovering a new catalog. I mean, and they do
Exactly.
They have lots of those. Man, so you can't beat
Yeah.
that 40-something bucks for like all those great albums.
Yeah, I think it was with tax like 49.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
That would have been
I saw a
$120.
Trower one out there like that.
There is a Trower one. Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of great ones. Yeah.
Chrysalis have done a lot, and then obviously Columbia do a lot of those 5 album sets.
Yep.
Which are similar idea. And
Yeah.
God, you can go into the £12 each, so about $15, $16, and you can build up a whole collection of an artist so easily.
Yeah, definitely.
I think in the last year I bought a Montrose one. I got the Cars one. I mean, it's basically got everything on there. I mean,
Yeah. To be honest, I sometimes get them instead of a good 2-disc greatest hits these days, because it'll maybe have 2 of the albums they always hear about, and then 3 where you can maybe pick up some deep cuts. And then that might be your intro to something else.
yeah.
But it's like we
Also,
were
just-
talking about when we were kind of talking over the chat about the channel, the program itself. What differentiates this from just new stuff is that it can be stuff that's been out for years and years, and it's just
New to
new
you.
to us. Yeah, so it's not intruding on your Wednesday reviews, Pete, or something that people really should check out more, the actual website reviews, which are wonderfully written. even the Stephen Reed ones. I mean, I know he said me listed it on here, but he's a brilliant writer. I'm only kidding, Steve. And apologies about burning your car that time out in the Barrowlands. I won't do that again. That's for the
was
UK
hilarious.
connection. I won't do it again. But the point of this show, let's us dive into these things that just don't fit anywhere else. You know, there isn't somewhere to pick up an old DVD and review it on the channel, really. So it's great to have this as an outlet for that, where people can find something affordably as well, like you're saying, Armando, because not everybody's going to be able to keep up the Jones.
Not me, that's for sure. You know.
Yeah.
But I try.
Yeah.
But I also, just before I wanted to apologize for coughing during the show. Guys, this COVID thing.
I know it sucks.
It isn't easy.
I'm right there with you. I've got it as well. So it's like, yeah, it's.
Don't worry about it.
It sucks. Yeah. All right. So
Can't help
my
it.
next choice here, my last choice for today, kind of. I mean, Armando mentioned it a couple times about shopping around and, you know, trying to find the best deal. Sometimes the really good deals find you. So, you know, I've got this Sea of Tranquility outlet here. I've talked many, many times with some people on this call and others about these wonderful Jethro Tull box sets, right? So I have made it very clear that there were only two existing box sets that I had not acquired as of yet. One is Songs from the Wood, the other was War Child. So one of our longtime viewers reaches out to me and says, "Hey, Pete, you know, I actually have 2 copies of War Child. You want to make a trade?" And here we go. Now I got it.
Sweet.
What did you trade?
I traded him some Sea of Tranquility shirts.
Ah, cool.
Are you serious?
Very nice.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I came late to that party.
Okay.
And
all
so,
way
you
too
know, and if
popular.
you're familiar with these at all, I mean, these are just amazing. They've
Except
got,
for benefit. Yeah.
you know, the complete original album remastered. Usually you've got a remix of the original album, which is usually pretty eye-opening. For me, what's worth it for these box sets, besides the books, which are amazing, is the wealth of previously unreleased material. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I only wish I would have said it to Ian Anderson in person when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. How the hell have you been stockpiling all this great unreleased shit all these years, that every time a box set comes out, you get 3, 4, 5 songs we've never heard before that are just as good as what's on the regular album? How does he do it? How has he kept that stuff quiet all these years? I don't know, but I'm happy he has. So, you know, you got all these great extra tracks on here. You've got, usually they have live stuff or live, you know, DVDs or Blu-rays, all this great stuff. The new mixes in surround sound and blah, blah, blah. All, I mean, these are like the best box sets ever. And I know Marillion has gotten to making similar ones. I believe it's the same company that's doing both of them. But man, the Tull box sets are the best. It's just a shame that if you don't buy them when they first come out, they go out of print very quickly. And Tull is pretty popular still. So then once they go out of print, right, Jamie, then I had to track that one down like a year ago. I finally
I've
did.
got that minstrel in the gallery.
Yeah, that's one of the better ones too.
Yeah.
And I saw, I think Davey had the Songs from the Wood one, which is now the only one I don't have.
And
I'm
I have
missing-
Songs from the Wood too.
Oh, you do?
missing
You
3.
can't get it now, or if you can get it, you got it. It's like $500-600, and I'm just
Yeah, it's too
I
high.
paid
Yeah, I
60
only got
bucks for it when it
benefit.
came out.
yeah.
I gotta find it in the house,
Scott, you
but I
could still
got
get quite a few of them for fairly, like you could probably get Stormwatch, Benefit,
Benefit and
Heavy
A.
Horses. The last
A.
bunch still a pretty reasonable.
You can get Stormwatch.
I think
for
I've seen A
$71.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
I
get it.
don't like A. I don't love it. You know, it's
It's
okay.
all right.
You
It's
know.
good.
Thick as
I
a brick is
definitely-
astronomical. I can't even go near it.
Yeah.
Oops, it is.
Sorry, Anthony
Well, what
Ferraro.
I
I know
like
he loves
about-
A.
Doc loves it.
Sorry, what I
Yakko
like
was
about
great,
the
too.
sets is that you got on some of them, like Songs from the Wood, you get like these
The whole
concerts,
concert, right? Yeah.
like the videos,
Yeah.
like of the concerts, not just like the audio, but you get the actual performance.
Yeah.
And again, I do have it. It says in my Amazon cart, I did buy it in 2017. I just gotta find it in this fucking house. It's somewhere in here, you know.
It's hidden. It's hidden.
That's part of the
It's in one
curse.
of my Ottomans, right? I gotta
Yep.
find it. But I do have it. So one of these
The
days
most-
you can pull it out and say, here it is. But
The most frustrating thing is I've been in on them from the start because I only owned a lot of them on tape. So this was the first time I was buying them. But at the time, now they're about, when they come out, they're about £30. When they first started coming out, so I think the first one was it Aqualung? It was about
Aqualung, I think, is a brick, I think. Yeah.
That was about £18. Brand new, day one. Ridiculous. I mean, it was just a few pounds more than buying a regular CD.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Thick as a Brick's not got any extras, really. I think it's just.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, that was back. There was pretty bare bones compared to what they give you now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've seen the ante upped by other, and then they've seen, wait a minute, these albums sold because it's Thick and a Brick and Aqualung. If we really want people to buy A, we're probably going to have to incentivize it a bit more here, and, give them a lot more. Plus, there's a lot more footage and stuff from.
Oh yeah. I think we got Broadsword. I think is coming up fairly soon.
It's been delayed. Yeah.
Really?
It's been
Want
delayed.
that.
All right, so let's move right along so we can get everybody on their day today. Rand.
Yeah, I'm gonna need David's participation on this. David, can you put your hat way close to the camera so all we can see is your hat?
Oh, nice. There you
Okay, David, you can look now.
I think Pete's got the same beanie, I think, don't you, Pete?
go. I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beanie Bros.
I didn't know you got one.
I'm
How did you do? I mean, how?
No, the hat he was saying. I got
Oh, the hat. Yeah. It's funny. He's doing General Giant and Zappa. They both loved each other.
Yep.
They always praised each other. I heard it on the radio one time. Frank Zappa said
That box set there. That's the box set with the mostest, I think.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. This is 33 discs.
Yes.
It's got a 5.1 version of the very first album by Steven Wilson remix. And I want to open it up and show you. There's a puzzle and stuff. In fact, I took some pictures. I mean, I didn't take some pictures, but it's on, hang on. Shit. It's on eBay, and I'll just show the photos real quick.
Yeah.
Brand new. That's what that goes for.
1,600. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the different photos.
That's one check from me.
These are the different things that you get in there.
Jesus Christ.
I think when I spoke to Derek Schulman shortly after, like a couple months after that originally came out, he told me they had one or two left in stock and that was it.
Yeah.
And I think one of them he actually owned. He's like, I would sell it if someone desperately wanted it, but yeah, that's it. It's all gone. I'm like, oof, man.
I originally bought the first run from Burning Shed, and I had to cancel my order because I ran into some financial problems at the time, because I just lost I had to quit my job because I got cancer, and then I had to wait a while before I could get my fixed income going and stuff. So it hit me right at the wrong time, and I had to cancel with Burning Shed, and I was so depressed. I said, "Oh my God, just take me now. If you're going to do this to me, I just don't even want to live." And then Burning Shed said, "Hey, guess what, folks? We're going to do a second run," and I got in.
Cool.
And it was like 340.
Yeah, they were like three change. I
Yeah.
think, when they first came
Yeah.
out.
Now they're going for 600.
Yeah, I remember, and the Wishbone Ash came out with a similar one right around. I think,
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's the holy grail right there.
Yeah, it's got everything.
Doesn't get any
Absolutely.
better than that.
Studio stuff, live stuff. I mean, yeah, very
The only thing
Yes,
they didn't give me any like DVDs, but I already have Giant on the box and GG at the GG, so I'm good.
Yeah, that's the only two things that set's missing, really.
And they didn't put Three Friends in there either. And I got one of those by knowing somebody online just by accident. He goes, "I'll send you one," and I ended up with Live on the Cruise to the Edge with Three Friends
cool.
DVD, which is really cool.
I don't know if you saw they announced the new remix of Civilian on Friday. That's coming out.
Yeah, next.
Oh, gotta get one of those.
Yeah, and then
It's going to have a bonus track, but it's not coming with a Blu-ray 5.1 this time, which is a bit disappointing because I've really enjoyed those Steven Wilson remixes. But he will go back to Porcupine Tree and make himself busy, won't he? So
Is the bonus track Kites?
No, I can't remember what it
It's Hero. It's Heroes No More. It's the same one that was.
Oh,
up there.
yeah.
Oh, that's the one that's on. Okay.
But it's
You know, I'm
it's
trying
the
to get
same
into
album.
Gentle
You know?
Giant. I really am.
I don't think I'll get it if it's just a remaster.
Slowly.
I have never heard any improvements in remasters. I think they just turn them up.
They're really good remixes. But again, this is a new person doing it. It's not Stephen Wilson anymore. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. But just not as enticing with the 5.1 on 18.
Yep.
Hey,
All right, cool.
no giant for a day, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
We'll
All right,
make it.
Davey, let's keep this rolling here.
Okay, doke. Well, very briefly, I did have one backup just in case, and we mentioned that we'd go multimedia, so I'll just throw this out and literally take 10 seconds. It is a book on my hometown boy, Alex Harvey, the sensational Alex Harvey. This is a fantastic read by John Neil Monroe, and it really goes into his early years. Won the Thomas Steele lookalike competition, you know, the last of the Teenage Idols became the song. It goes through his time in the hair band. It goes through seeing Tear Gas and setting up the Sabs. It goes through the later years where things became hitting the bottom, unfortunately, but it's still fantastic reading about a truly unique artist who, if people have never heard the Sabs, then I really urge you, to be honest, a great primer for them. Watch this show that Pete did with what was it, Stephen Reed? You did it with Pete. You did a Sab show.
I honestly don't remember who I did it with.
Yeah. Oh, we'll
that was like 935 shows ago. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you off with that. But,
It might have been by
anyway,
myself. It might have been just me, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure I remember you having a back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe it was me talking back to
I don't know.
the
Yeah, I don't
screen.
remember.
But that's not my actual pick. My actual pick, I will dedicate now to Armando because he mentioned both of these acts, and it was said, well, you now need to get Strangers in the Night. Well, if you don't want to buy a massive big box set of something, you could always go with UFO Live at the Rock Palace 1980.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So we ain't talking Schenker, but we're just beyond it. So we're in 1980. So this is, so you've got Letting Go, Long Gone, Cherry, Only You Can Rock Me, No Place to Run, Making Moves, Love to Love, Mystery Train, Too Hot to Handle, and then obviously the big hitters come towards the end, Lights Out, Rock Bottom, and Doctor Doctor. So we're into the top era here. And then the companion piece to it, just because it's the exact same year and it's this, you know, so intricately connected. Schenker, exactly the same year. Also at the Rock Palace. These are both CD DVDs, so you get the concert and the CD. And this, account. Yeah, but they're cheap, you know, so you don't need to. They're not out of print. You don't need to spend.
I don't have to sell my firstborn. Thank God.
No, I mean you can't.
Nobody would take her.
You know? So I mean, this Schenker is cool because basically he does the entirety of the first album, the Michael Schenker Group, but with the band from the second one, the MSG. So Gary Barden, Chris Glenn, Paul Raymond, and Chris Glenn, funnily enough, from Sabs, and then Cozy Powell on drums. So Simon's out the band and Cozy's in here. So it's the band from the second album, but doing almost everything from the first album. So Armed and Ready, Cry for the Nations, Victim of Illusions, Natural Thing, Feels Like a Good Thing, Into the Arena, Rock Bottom, again, Looking Out from Nowhere, Lost Horizon, Doctor Doctor, and Lights Out. So you get the three tracks that are, you know, staples for both of them, and then basically a kind of current incarnation of the band doing their current album, which in Schenker's case especially is, you know, that first Schenker album, the first couple of Schenker albums are really, really, really special. And UFO, I like them with Chapman. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, I think this makes a really good pair. Same year, it was only recorded 2 months apart. So yeah, fantastic double set.
Yeah,
CD,
I can recommend both of those
Very
as well. There's so many great Rock Palace recordings out there. I mean, I've got a ton of them from various different bands. Good stuff. Great choices. Great choices. Scott.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, my third pick is it's a jazz fusion album. Waterloo Records. It's Jaco Pastorius,
Oh yeah.
his debut solo album, self-titled. And I've been getting a lot of jazz fusion lately. Weather Report and Mahavishnu Orchestra, Return to Forever, Herbie Hancock, et cetera, et cetera. And
Guilty.
with Weather Report, you what, about 6 albums in is when Jaco joins.
Yeah.
And they were great before then, but I mean, he adds a different dimension to the band that wasn't before. And amazing. I bass players don't usually get enough credit. I mean, it's not a real flashy, showy instrument, and unless the bass player really like also sings or plays keyboards, they usually don't get as much attention. But this guy, very influential.
Mhm.
I've been into jazz probably since I was in college. If I was at home, you'd see my Miles Davis and John Coltrane posters behind me. Yeah, lately I've been digging more on fusion, and this is definitely somebody I've been meaning to check out. Didn't have a whole lot of albums. Unfortunately, he wasn't with us very long. But this one's been on my radar for a while. I don't know why I waited so long to get it. It's a damn good album. So finally pulled the trigger on it, Waterloo. And I wish I bought it sooner. It's just so amazing.
Scott, there's a Jaco Pastorius documentary. If you really want to delve into, his background, there's a documentary out there. I have
Really
that sounds cool.
a double DVD. I have it here. But yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
And Scott, in addition to the 2 studio albums, he's got a bunch of, I don't want to call them bootlegs because they've been officially released, but there's a shit ton of live albums of John.
Yeah, I've seen some live stuff out there.
I've got a whole bunch of them. If you ever want to talk offline, I can give you some recommendations on some.
Very nice.
Like Thurn on guitar, some with Borelli Legrand, or various other guitar players, because he was just hanging around New York City just jamming.
He just played with whoever he.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the Joni Mitchell's band and stuff, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he
In
was.
'78, yeah. There's
He has just a ton of big names playing on this. I mean, it's an all-star band. Wayne Shore, Herbie Hancock, David Sanborn, Randy and Michael Brecker, Narada Michael Walden, and Lenny White. Just to name.
Very quickly, if you want to get, there's a Joni Mitchell album called Shadows and Light.
Yeah.
Where she plays with Pastorius and Pat Metheny.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very distinctive style in the bass. And he's only 24 when he made this album.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot of buzz about him. He's being called a wonderkind, and I could definitely see why.
Yeah.
He wrote or co-wrote 8 of the 9 songs on the album. Also arranged the strings on Kuru, Speak Like a Child, which Herbie Hancock plays on. And it's actually Speak Like a Child is a Herbie Hancock song, but he arranged all the strings in that, all the strings you hear in the song. And it just sounds amazing. That's definitely one of the top tracks on here. Also, like used to be a Cha-Cha-Cha. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And those are the big standouts for me, but it's definitely a solid listen throughout. And anybody that's out there that hasn't heard this guy, check him out.
Yep.
Very effective, and I'll definitely be seeking out more by him, what little there is. And I think the sequence of the songs on this works really well. Up-tempo stuff followed by some mellower songs. Has a nice flow to it. And yeah, I'd love to hear some recommendations,
We will chat. Yeah.
I know we're
Yeah.
pressed for time, but
Good stuff.
8:30.
All right. Jamie Laszlo, your final pick of the day.
I used to be able to stand for these 2-hour shows. I'm getting old.
We all got the old,
Yeah.
right?
It's your stool.
Pardon me for a minute, everyone. Sorry.
All
I've
right,
never
guys.
stood, so I like sitting.
Here's the thing. I don't know what I'm going to have in the future on these shows. I have no idea, but I can almost guarantee I'm always going to have brand new music. to talk about. I actually, if you look here, I keep in the bar this chalkboard, and it's been there for years. And I always put what's new in the house, in the bar. This is all new releases there. And I'm management in this bar, and then I'm a customer. During the week, I do things management would do, and then I walk in on a Saturday like a customer. Oh, isn't this nice? It's like a multiple personality kind of thing.
Do I see Rick Labante's name on that chalk?
I was about to say.
Yes, I never thought I'd have a name up there of someone I know.
Yeah, how about
I never
that?
thought in a million years.
Yeah.
Right between Meshuggah and Jack White.
There you go.
All right, so real quick, this won't take long. I have a few new releases here. I'm going to give a one-word review on each one. One word. The new Jack White, Fear of the Dawn. Noisy. It's a noisy record, but it does have a lot of groove and melody as well, but it's noisy, almost like U2's noisy era.
I like it a lot better than his last one.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't even buy the last one. I streamed it. Unlimited Love, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm going to say comfortable. Very comfortable sounding. It's nice to know this band's still around, sounds like themselves, like a comfortable shoe. The way an AC/DC fan might listen to an AC/DC new record and go, comfortable. Earth Infernal, Satan. My one word, guacamole. Why guacamole? Because I'm not sure if I like it, but I keep going back to it anyways. It's one of those things I'm still feeling out, like guacamole. Do I like it? I don't know. Put it on the nachos. Anyway, Meshuggah, Immutable. My one word review, trying. About this band, every album I have, about after 7 or 8 songs, it gets a little bit trying on the ear, but I'm trying to get over that. It's a hurdle. It's much fun as it is to like an album or a band right when you hear them. It's fun to try to get over any hurdles you have with a band and go, God damn it, I'm going to like this band. It takes me the rest of my life. That's fun too. And that's what I'm doing with Meshuggah. There are moments on here that are absolutely wonderful, but then it also, I need a break. I did see them live a few years ago, 3 years ago, and they were really, really good. And last but not least, and you guys hate it when I bring up this chick, Moo, live Miley Cyrus. My one word is homemade, because it's not on physical media. She only dropped it on iTunes and stuff, or not iTunes, but whatever, Spotify and stuff. So I made my own. There you go. Blasting this summer out by the pool. Yeah, sorry, you too.
Man, going from Miley Cyrus to Frank Zappa and back again. It's like it's
Meshuggah to Miley Cyrus. What a transition that is.
Well, they're both filed under M.
That's true. All right, cool. All right, Nick, our last selection of the day. What do you got?
I'm going to pull a mulligan. I've got 2 things I kind of want to
There
show.
you go. All right.
May as well use it for the first time in a while.
There you go.
Oh, geez. So 2 weeks ago, Nectar came to town in the Detroit area.
Nice.
And I went and saw them with Courtney. And first time was pretty cool. Then they came back, 2 Sundays ago. And lo and behold, I got just going to show a quick t-shirt here, Nectar, whatever. I've always had this kind of weird abstract imagery. So I got a couple CDs, got t-shirts, stuff like that. Yeah, so we played everything. Remember the Future Part 1, Desolation Valley, Skywriter, I'm on Fire. I'm trying to remember some of the other tracks. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a good concert. It was 2 hours and was there. It was pretty cool. And I've also got something else. Oh my, what's this? It's burning up in here. What's going on? What's going on? I'm getting hot under the collar. Magma. Volume 1.
Your favorite band, Pete.
Of course.
I have to give you some crap sometimes.
That's all right. Hey, I'm like the only person who doesn't seem to like Magma, so that's okay.
No,
I
don't
can't
like
stand
Magma either.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay, so I'm not the only one.
I can't listen to that band.
I've never heard a note.
I have
There's
no,
one
I've
more.
never heard them.
Lucky
I've
you,
listened.
man.
I've listened to them, and I've never heard a note of either. Don't worry.
just from Pete's recommendation, I don't even want to even try. Sorry.
I think he invented Klingon.
They were
Yeah, it
acquired
almost
taste.
sounds
I
like
mean,
Klingon.
yeah, that's a nice looking set, though. By the way, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, thank you. You
I always
Thankfully,
love their logo. Their album covers are always really cool looking. I just
Yeah.
can't stand the music.
Yeah, it looks like an alien movie, like the
Yeah, right.
new alien movie or something.
1001 Degrees Centigrade had a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
And the guy played, my friend played me the record and I went, later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's on that, Nick?
I can't even pronounce these words.
Don't they make up their own language or something?
Yes.
Yes.
Tobias.
It's Vanderspeak.
Yeah.
Does
Oh,
anybody
pretentious.
out there speak Klingon?
You know,
Or is that-
they say
understand.
you shouldn't eat things that you can't pronounce. I don't know, we should listen either.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Christian Vander watched a lot of Star Trek and invented
Yeah,
a
I think so.
language.
I don't know. Every time I listen to them, I think they're trying to induct me into Scientology or something. You know, it's kind of something weird going on there.
They had 3 college age kids, I think, playing the saxophones. Yeah, I'm like, so you have this little tiny stage here, 3 kids in white t-shirts playing saxophones. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty eclectic stuff, but it's like, it really is cool. I mean, one of the songs is 35 minutes and 17 seconds. There was talk. I don't know. I need a Klingon to English dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if they
Oh, yeah.
had kept the vocals off those Magma albums, the music's not that bad.
I
Right.
100% agree with you, Rand. I always thought their music was kind of cool. As soon as they started singing and chanting, I'm like, that's it. It's
You're
not
right.
compute. Nope.
I'm gonna
nope,
YouTube
nope.
them right when we're done here.
You will not
That's my take on
indoctrinate-
death metal, man.
indoctrinate-
Yeah,
that
I
a
definitely
hole you
want to
wanna
know what
go
you
into,
think.
Jamie?
Definitely
Like,
want to know what
really?
you think.
All right, I'll text you in about 10 minutes.
There you go. There you go. Well, there you have it, everybody. So I think we found out on this first episode, we probably need to do just 2 selections instead of 3 because
Yeah.
this is a fun topic to talk about this cool stuff. So for anybody watching in the comments below, put down some of the new things you've acquired of late. Like I said, could be box sets, CDs, LPs, 8 tracks, vinyl, Blu-rays, whatever it is. That's what this show is all about. And I want to thank everybody for coming here and talking about all their stuff. So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube.
Oh,
Oh,
the
damn.
damn.
Um,
And what else? The curse.
is real.
real.
That's right. So for Nick Usofian, Davey Gallagher, Armando Venditti, Scott Berry, Jamie Laszlo, and Rand Kelly, I am Pete Pardo. See you next month on The Curse of the Collector. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Right, guy.
Cheers.